Formula One season is underway, and along with it, the race is on for big paychecks and big notoriety for the globally renowned drivers. Let's zero in on one of the sport's most storied names and one of its favorites to win a lot this season, McLaren Racing. Joining us now is McLaren Racing CEO Zach Brown. Yahoo Finance's senior auto correspondent, Praz Subramanian, is here as well. Good morning to you both. Zach, avid watcher of Drive to Survive on Netflix, and one takeaway for me has been this is not the same team from when you took over. You've put a lot of key turnaround efforts into place there. How have you gone about turning around this brand?
The team's doing a great job. I think like any sports team or business for that matter, it's all about the people. And so we've made quite a few changes to the leadership team. Andreas Seidel, who runs our Formula One team, has done an excellent job. And, everyone's working really well together. Of course, we've got two great drivers, a great brand, as you mentioned, with a great legacy in the sport. And it's all coming together, but it's not easy. So for every good day, there's a bad day not far behind. But that's why we love sport.
Hey, Zach, Praz here. So the 2022 season, a little different start here because of the new car spec this year. I know you guys are sort of kind of your growing pains with that car, but hopefully things are going to improve. What's your take on that in the season start so far and in the new cars that you guys have?
Well, I think it's very exciting. If you look at the first couple races, they were very exciting races. The last one, we had, I think it was 4 or 5 lead changes amongst the front with 10 laps to go. The concept behind these new cars were to make the racing closer, and I think in the first 2 races we've seen that they've achieved that. Also, at the same time, when you have new rules, some people are going to get it right, some people are going to get it wrong. We have not got it right to start with, but Formula One teams are very good at reacting quickly to data. So I think so far both races have been very exciting. I think the field will condense in time, but I think the kind of headline goal they had of making the racing more exciting, they've achieved.
And Zach, the pandemic really hit the sponsorship side of the business pretty hard. Has that come back to pre-pandemic levels?
It's beyond pre-pandemic levels. It's been outstanding. There's probably more commercial partnerships in Formula One than I've ever seen. We've announced most recently Google, so it doesn't get much better than that. And Cisco's renewed, and Aero, and then you've seen with some of the other teams, the Oracle has joined, Saudi Aramco. So the commercial side of the sport, in my 20 years and being around Formula One and 6 years running McLaren, I've never seen the sport stronger.
Hey, Zach, why do you think that big tech has such a fascination with F1? Is it all kind of like this, the high-speed nature of the technology? I mean, we're talking about Cisco, we're talking about Darktrace, talking about Dell, but also a lot of crypto companies too, right?
Yeah, crypto have come in fast and furious. I think there's about 5 or 6 that are in the sport. I think the technology, we're the most technically advanced sport in the world. Our partners are truly integrated into our racing team. So I think technology companies find there's a lot of similarity in the R&D. They can use Formula One and McLaren or the respective racing teams as a bit of an R&D lab. And then, we're the largest annual global sporting event. So as they're looking to entertain customers around the world, build their brand around the world, Formula One is a very efficient way to, as we say in Darktrace's case, help make you famous fast.
In our world, Zach, seemingly every day we're hearing about a new electric vehicle launch. Now, of course, what you guys are driving around a track is not electric, but when will it be, you think?
That's a good question. Our engines are the most thermal efficient engines in the world. We're going to biofuels. We have been hybrid since, I think it was 2013. And so, we get a lot of attention because of our power unit, but there's so much more we do in sustainability around the world with our partners. And we've been carbon net zero since 2011 at our facility. So I think we're just about ready to land on the next set of engine regulations, which will start in 26 for 5 years. I think we'll see more electrification and hybrid. You'll see some biofuels come in, but the soonest it would happen at this point would be 2031.
Hey, Zach. So kind of the big news last night was the announcement of the Las Vegas race, the race on the Strip coming to the U.S. next year. What does that mean for you, for the team, and for being racing in Vegas under the lights? And also, it's a third race in America. How big is this market for F1?
I think it's time to get ready for some blackjack. No, in all seriousness, I think it's going to be unbelievable. Las Vegas, I believe the race is going to be around 10 o'clock at night. You're going to go down the Strip. You're going to see Formula One at its best. I think 3 races in North America. It wasn't long ago we were trying to build the sport in America, and I think thanks to Netflix and Austin and Miami, I've never seen the demand for a Grand Prix like I've seen for Miami. That's coming up soon. I think Vegas will be of the same stature. We'll have a new TV contract shortly. So I think Formula One has absolutely taken off in North America. But Las Vegas will be great for around the world. So we now have the luxury problem of having more cities and countries that want to have Grand Prix that we can host. So if you look at all the metrics in Formula One, TV ratings, sponsorship, viewing figures, demand for races, and you've even got teams, new teams that want to come into the sport. So every metric is up. The demand is strong. Couldn't be happier with the future of Formula One.
Lastly, Zach, just again from watching the show so religiously, there are a lot of big personalities in this sport and big egos. As the CEO, how do you manage the talent effectively?
Now we can say, how big's my ego? It's as big as anyone's in pit lane.
You said that. I didn't say that.
No, you know what? We all, while we're fierce competitors, we're all very similar. I think that's one of the things that Netflix has done so well, is it's brought forward all the personalities in the sport, where a lot of other sports are almost exclusively played on the field. There's as much sport that takes place off the racetrack as on, and I think Netflix has kind of captured that dynamic of the sport. And, I think in a team environment, you all come together. You need to be humble, work together. And I think having an ego is okay. It's when it moves to arrogance that I think it becomes destructive. But a little bit of confidence for a sporting team is a good place to be.
Duly noted. McLaren Racing CEO Zach Brown, good luck to you this season. Looking forward to staying in touch. And thank you to Yahoo Finance Senior Auto Correspondent Pras Subramanian.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.